Akivila Odera.
Right, now we'll be talking about kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, and what you need to know about this, how you can prevent it in case you're a patient, how you can go about getting towards the journey of total healing. Now we have the story of Edith Mukisa. She is actually one of the 850 million people worldwide who are now estimated to have kidney diseases from various causes.
She was diagnosed with a kidney disease 5 years ago and is currently on medication. When we talk about the chronic kidney disease, the cause is at least 2.4 million deaths per year and are now the 6th fastest growing cause of disease around the world. Despite the growing burden of kidney diseases worldwide, the kidney health disparity and inequity are still widespread. The chronic kidney disease often arises from the social conditions in which people are born, grow, live, work, and age, including poverty, gender discrimination, lack of education, occupational hazards, and pollution, among others.
Now, transplantation is considered the most effective treatment for chronic kidney disease. However, it has high setup costs with regards to infrastructure and requires a highly specialized set of teams available and availability also of organ donors, and cannot be done without dialysis backup. Now, physical and legal infrastructure requirements and cultural bias against organ donation often present barriers in many countries, making dialysis the default option. Now, Uganda today joins the rest of the world to mark the World Kidney Day under the theme Kidney Health for Everyone. But what is the status of the kidney disease in Uganda today? And so to help us understand this, Rita, we have
Dr. Joseph Ongavu Jagenda. He is a nephrologist, one you could have heard of as a kidney specialist, and he is the head of the nephrology unit at St. Francis in Zambia Hospital. It seems like a mouthful as you hear that, but it's actually, in simple terms, a kidney specialist. And next to him is Miss Edith Mukisa, and she is actually still a patient.
Yes,
suffering
I'm
from
still
the
on
chronic
medication.
kidney disease.
Yes.
And before we get into the conversation about it, when did you find out? 5 years ago. How
5
did
years
you
ago.
find out that you had the chronic kidney disease?
Well, the way how it started was not easy directly because I was sick, not taking it normal, like I'm a sick person. Whatever they were treating, but then I was not improving at all.
what were they treating?
I was vomiting, continuous and non-stop. I was weak. I was helpless. I could not stand on my own. Then they checked everything, and everything was coming out negative. They tested HIV. I wasn't positive. They checked my heart. My heart by that time was okay. But I was continuing vomiting and deteriorating. I lost weight from 60 to 30.
Wow.
Then the doctor who was attending to me just said, okay, now what you have to do is to check your kidney. When they test the kidney, they found that it has dropped from 100 to 4. By that time, everything was messed up. My blood level was down to 5. I was anemic. My potassium was extremely high. The whole entire system turned upside down. Some bodybuilding, whatever, minerals were down, some were high, like the sugar level were high. The proteins, I was completely messed up, the entire body system.
How long did it take for them to do the right diagnosis, really, if they were treating you for something else and then finally?
Oh, they did many tests. They did many tests to discover what could be the cause. Some were sent to Kenya, some were sent to South Africa, and they were changing treatments now and again. Yeah.
Wow.
But then eventually they did diagnose you and say that you had the chronic kidney disease.
Yes.
And what happened next?
What happened next? They continued giving me the medication.
And it's the same medication that you have been on for the last 5 years? Or has
Well,
it changed?
it's quite a lot. I can't recall because the time when I was really completed down that couldn't help myself, I was having like 5, 10 types of medication I was using on.
Orals?
Yes. Then later, they tried to reduce them as I was improving on. They reduced until now I have the specific one which I'm normally using.
So you didn't go through dialysis?
No.
No organ transplant as
not
well?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yes.
And we thank God for you, because you're here now.
You're here. And
Yeah, but it has been not easy. Even at that particular moment when they wanted to do the transplant, the doctor who was attending to me wasn't sure whether I could reach to India because it can't be done here.
Okay.
I was so anemic, I could not support myself, I could not sit, I could not walk. Yeah, I was having my caretaker was carrying me all the time, wherever I would go. I was vomiting every day, 24/7, non-stop. And I was restricted from eating all other food other than taking maize porridge. I would take maize porridge, then bring the blood, it comes out. Take maize porridge, it comes out. Things like that
Okay.
for some quite time.
To bring in the doctor, Dr. Jagenda, good morning.
Good morning.
One thing that she has mentioned, and perhaps you should start from there, is the fact that 5 years ago, when she was trying to just even get diagnosed, the fact that the tests had to be done and sent to Kenya, to South Africa, and she mentions the transplant and how it can only be done in India as of now. Where does Uganda come in the fight against the kidney disease?
Yeah, well, still many challenges, but also many success stories has been one of them. I must say that over the 5 years, definitely our capacity and our knowledge has improved, both as the clinical care team, the physicians, the nephrologists, the doctors, but also the patients and the community. So they think about it more, and we hope that they will think about it more. We actually want kidney to come soon, as the patients and doctors' thoughts, soon after the patient has reached the doctor. It shouldn't take a month before the doctor thinks this could be kidney. By doing that, you actually save a lot in terms of kidney health, money, yes, and time. And time is key for kidney, because if you take 3 months without having your diagnosis nipped, then it could mean a lifetime condition.
3 months.
Yes. So
For you, how long did it take for the diagnosis to be made? Kidney diagnosis?
As I told you that I was sick, like I took it as normal sick, but because I wasn't improving,
Right.
it took like 2 months.
2 months.
Yes.
So at least she had not met the 3-month threshold.
yes.
Okay.
And what usually happens, the kidney is quite very, very blunt organ. It will actually put up a very big fight before it lets you know that things are bad. Yes, and for her case actually, I think it lingered on for about a year or so, and the kidneys were fighting until they reached a point and said, Edith,
We are
I
done.
can't handle this anymore. What she didn't tell you actually, she was having body pains that she could not explain, and she handled them on her own and was taking some medication, painkillers commonly used. I have some little back pain, some joint pains. I think I had a long day at work. Let me take some little Brufen, some little diclofenac. Meloxicam would do for me, and that went on every night for about 2 years. Yeah, and so by the time she came, the kidneys had actually taken quite a shot, and it took some time to make the diagnosis, but eventually the team came up so well, and we did a biopsy on her. Now the biopsy is a definitive test, because you take a very small nick at the kidney and then examine it under the microscope, specialized one, and then they tell you how it looks like, and then that ties up with the condition most of the times. And so we're able to see her condition, and she got specific treatment for that condition, and that has very much contributed to her recovery.
You know, chronic kidney disease actually is the 6th, fastest cause of death, and it's worrying. But you've said that it's good to be diagnosed within the 3-month threshold. So what should you be looking out for? How do you know that you have kidney disease?
Yes, when kidney disease has just come in, the signs are really clear. You can tell. For example, urine volume goes down quite significantly. Though sometimes it can actually increase, depending on on the cause. But most of the times, that volume goes down.
Doctor, and that is regardless of whether you're taking a lot of water or not?
Yes. In fact, if you take a lot of water, that brings in the next sign, that your body will swell.
Wow.
Yes, because the kidneys are not passing that.
So they're
water
physical
out.
signs.
Yes, these are physical signs that you can tell. And specific to the kidneys, that your eyes, the eyebrows actually swell, especially in the morning. So you wake up, go to the mirror, and you see your face is swelling. But as the day goes by, that swelling reduces, and it goes instead to your legs. So in the morning, the legs are clear, but as time goes on, they begin to swell. The other is difficulty in breathing. Again, because the water is not being excreted by the kidneys, so it accumulates in your lungs and becomes so heavy for the heart. The other sign is your heart could begin pumping fast and you can feel it. One, because it is overloaded. Also because your pressures are going up. Also because your blood levels actually reduce when the kidneys are not working so well. The blood cells get damaged quite quickly, so you run out of blood. And because these toxins accumulate in the body, you become weak, sleepy, and you can't do anything that has quality, so you're generally weak. And other things like vomiting, because these toxins accumulate in the blood and they irritate your intestines, so they cause you to vomit. These are really very specific signs, and when they are picked early, usually the cause can be caught and that condition arrested. If that goes on for a long time, then you may actually resume passing your urine and you get comfortable that things are fine, yet the urine is being passed without any waste in it. So the sieving ability of the kidney goes down and all these toxins keep in the body. And when this goes on for a long time, then every part of the body is affected from your head to toe.
Okay.
Yes.
So if someone can go for, as of now, if someone wants to go and check for a cancer screening test, they can go and do it. What about the kidneys? If I personally feel maybe on this day I want to go and check, what would be the procedure? Where can I get it done?
Well, actually, many of the places can do it. Many of the places can do it. And it's simple. It's way simpler than cancer. Because cancer is so vast. From the brain to the toe, you can get cancer, but kidney is so specific. Whereas the tests are not so great, they give a very good indication. They will serve nearly 90% of the population. So a simple creatinine test, it's a blood test. The doctor draws off a sample of blood, and within an hour or two, you get to know what your creatinine level is. The other is looking at your urine. Normal urine should not have blood in it. It should not have bacteria in it, and it should not leak a lot of protein, which in her case actually was happening. She was leaking a lot of urine, and she was having more protein in her urine than the blood, and that was draining every other part.
Dr. On can say that since I was born, I've been living a healthy lifestyle, but boom, I was diagnosed with kidney disease. What causes it?
Well, there are many causes, but I must note that for Uganda, we are quite peculiar. Worldwide, we know hypertension, diabetes, these are the biggest drivers of kidney disease. And so those that have these conditions, hypertension and diabetes, need to be routinely screened. Even if their first tests were normal. You know, we always say, I went to the doctor, they checked everything is fine. Then you sit back, become complacent. You may lose out on time. So those two, we need to screen for hypertension, diabetes. Again, it's simple. Your blood sugar test 3,000, 5,000. Then hypertension, just a measurement of your BP, and that is it. Then you know whether you are at the commonest cause of, you're at risk of the commonest causes. Other conditions, the infectious processes that we know, malaria on its own actually can give you kidney disease.
Really?
Yes, directly, these germs can go to the kidneys and cause damage. That is well established. But also we know malaria makes you weak, it makes you lose your appetite. And then some of the medication that is used maybe for managing your fever, or in case the malaria is not seen so well, it's treated as a bacterial infection, you may get some other medication intended for treating the bacteria, but actually able to cause damage to the kidneys. We know children can get diarrhea, and when they have many loose motions and then pass out a lot of water and they are vomiting, that reduces the blood level in the kidneys, in the system, and then the kidneys are ultimately affected. Basically, anything that will reduce your blood level and make you sick enough not to take in enough, and then the medications, these can all contribute to kidney disease. So in the adult population, we worry most about diabetes and hypertension. But then you get these peculiar cases where someone is not diabetic, they're not hypertensive, like her case, and then they have this severe kidney disease. With this, the only way really is to screen. So ask your doctor regularly. We advise once a year. Get your doctor.
Right.
Yes. Do a blood test, look at your urine. That should suffice really.
Right. You know, Edith, just coming back to you,
Yes,
you know,
please.
the healing process, and you're still undergoing treatment and
Yes, I'm
stuff
still
like that.
under treatment and going for checkups
Exactly.
at a period of 3 months.
Right.
Yes.
What kept you holding on and hanging in there? I can imagine the treatment has not been easy, like you mentioned, but you're still here fighting.
Yes, what made me to be what I am today is partly is my family. My family supported me very well. And then another thing, I stopped worrying about whatever I was going through. I was like waiting to see what's going to happen next. So I couldn't think about the pain I was going through and all the challenges I was going through. Yeah. So most of the time, once you are stressed, then you're causing more problems because the brain is weak and you can't help yourself.
Right.
Yes.
And the cost of treatment, how is it? Was it
Oh,
affordable? Is it expensive?
no.
How is it?
The cost of the treatment is quite expensive. It's quite expensive. Quite expensive, very expensive. Because most of our medication are not in these government facilities. We buy them in the farms.
And how much does it cost you? First of all, how is your treatment like as of now? After 5 years, how is it like? So how much does it cost you maybe per month?
Per month, at least 0.5.
0.5?
500,000
Yes,
per month.
yes, 500,000.
And you have to be on it every single month.
Yes, continuously. It's a continuous
Continuously.
process. Yes,
And then there's also the diet, the nutrition bit of it.
true,
So you're on a different type of diet
true.
than usual.
We are restricted more to most type of the food. We don't eat high protein food, milk, eggs, any fried food, and the dried beans. We eat fresh beans. So we are so particular on what we eat. Yeah, we can't take milk, we can't take eggs. Yeah.
So, Doctor, bringing you into this, the
Yes.
treatment, because there's when Edith did mention that you were taking about 10 types of drugs
Yes.
at the start.
Yes, even more. 12. I remember there were 12 because it was a big list of medication, and I'd start taking them at 5 to make sure I go through the whole course of my medication. At 5 in the morning, that's when I'd start my first dose. Then I remember second dose, I'd take it at around 8. After a short interval, I take another course until then the last dose, I'll take it at 10 in the night when I'm going to sleep.
And right now, how is it like?
Not because the medication has reduced. I'm taking now only 3 types of medication, and that is Moflet, and Calcifte. Sorry?
And telmisartan.
Yes.
Those terms.
Very heavy. But Doctor, talking about the treatment and how it takes a toll on the patient and also the cost of the treatment, how, for you as a Ugandan, it sounds like a lot of money
Yes,
to keep surviving.
it is a lot of money, and that points to the value of the kidney. We actually feel proud to take care of an organ that manages the rest of your body, like we said, from head to toe. So when the kidney gets sick, the doctor and the drugs have to play all these roles. And there are so many. I can mention 30 roles of the kidney. So you can imagine a pill for each of
The rules.
the functions. That means quite a lot. And our healthcare system is mostly geared towards the infectious processes. And so these non-communicable diseases, they don't get quite a good share in the planning. Everyone thinks a few of Ugandans will get this, and those will sort themselves out, which is really not the case. So as time goes on, we are seeing more of these drugs are being purchased, both by government and the private facilities. Definitely leaning more to the private facilities. The government is stepping up, and we want to thank government because it's doing way better. But the thing is, these drugs come at quite a cost because awareness is very low. So the few patients like Edith have to pay for the cost of importing and paying the staff of these pharmaceuticals. And so part of our goal actually is to lobby for more awareness and then better budgetary allocation by government so that these drugs and these services are more available. When they become more available, the economies of scale will enable everyone to actually get these
Doctor,
drugs.
let's talk about prevention. How then do we go about staying on the safe side in terms of prevention? How do we go about it?
The first thing is live the healthy life that we all talk about, but find so difficult to practice. But take the right foods, no excesses. Ideally, no food is actually bad. All food is good, but you need to know what food to take and how much. So limit things like smoking. Actually, I don't think there's much advantage in smoking. Probably none. That's one practice you can get rid of happily. And then no excesses of alcohol, moderation, that is okay, but excesses are definitely known to cause kidney disease. Then we have to watch our weight. I know there are people that get kidney disease. Edithia wasn't an overweight person.
She said she was 60.
Yes, hers was really fine. But most of the people that we see, the drivers of hypertension and diabetes, weight, low physical activity, all those put you at risk. And then avoid medicating yourself. We've trained, you put money, government has trained us from primary, secondary school, just to help you. Give us that simple role of examining you, 1 hour, then we know what's disturbing you, then we give you clear treatment other than taking 10 types of medication, just in case you find what is disturbing you. So good health seeking behaviors will actually help you to avoid taking the wrong medication, and in case you have this condition, getting caught early. That saves your kidney a lot, it saves you a lot of money, and you won't have to take 12 different types of medication. The other is screening for diabetes and hypertension. Like I said, these are the commonest drivers of these conditions. And then we must manage these simple conditions. So well, UTIs, I know we get UTIs many times, talk about them, I feel some pain, pass by your pharmacy and get some treatment, but it's good to know the bug that is disturbing you and then do specific treatment for that one. Most times when you do that, that sickness will go away, but you might be taking the wrong medication for the wrong condition, and so you never heal, and with the time, this infection will go up to the kidneys and cause you scarring. We also have to screen for cancers. These are coming up so commonly. Young men are being victims of cancer of the prostate, and even ladies are suffering from cancer of the cervix. These, luckily, if caught early, again, interventions can be done and people can get healed from them. But when they come in late, it becomes very difficult.
Is there cure?
Yes, there is cure for those that actually come in early. I have so many people, secondary school, got malaria, kidneys shut down, then you come, catch them early, a few sessions of dialysis, the kidneys pick up.
Dialysis?
Yes.
How come Edith's case was different? She didn't go through dialysis, it was just oral medication, and she's good though, still continuing the treatment.
Yes, welcome to medicine. Yes,
Please educate
yes,
us.
not one size fits all really. People are different. For her condition, she was very weak, but then she was also responding to the other treatment that was being given. Also, we had a clear idea of what was happening to her. So we knew that if we kept on this medication, that is what she needed to pull through. And then her body was supportive, so she could pull through. So she managed.
She will find cure.
Yes.
Yes.
So what about those
finally
who end up going to dialysis?
Yes.
How do you eventually get there, and what is the treatment like for dialysis?
Yes, so dialysis is temporarily help for the kidney. It's not permanent, meaning when you're on dialysis, you definitely need it as you would need a normal kidney. So what dialysis does is to filter what the kidney is not able to filter out through the blood, and the blood is returned to the patient. One can be on dialysis for short term when the indication is, say, malaria, or one took some drugs that hurts the kidneys, or there's some severe infection that is hurting the kidneys. And as we manage what has brought this condition, the kidneys actually have a chance to pick up. And we keep monitoring these kidneys by doing blood tests, looking at the urine. And once they have picked up, then you can be weaned off dialysis. If, on the other hand, the kidneys have actually lost a lot of their function, what we call end-stage renal disease, then the treatment is keeping on dialysis until you get a transplant. And like she mentioned, we can't do a transplant here yet, but I have good news that within a few years it will be possible.
Okay.
I'm so sure.
All right. She will finally get cure.
Her condition actually, when she was diagnosed, her kidneys were working at 5%. If you're using PLE, 5% ungraded. So they were doing so bad, really. But then with the diagnosis and the medication and the restrictions that she's happily taking on, her kidneys are picked on, and as of now, they're working at about 65%.
So can we hope that they'll be getting to 100%?
Oh,
Yes.
I know.
As the doctor is saying.
I always suffer with these questions in the consultation room. Like,
Yeah.
am I going to get cured? But you know, there's this natural process. If you reach 100 years of age, your kidneys are not working at 100%. They're probably at 50 or 45%. And that is okay, for a 100-year-old.
Okay.
So what we are doing is to make sure that her kidney function does not deteriorate so fast. That way she can look at 40 years from now.
All right.
And our goal now is to protect her kidney so that it can serve her up to that time.
Edith, we
Yes.
keep praying for you.
Thank you.
We congratulate you and salute you. You're fighting this.
Thank
and
you.
I mean, 65 from 5.
That's
Yes.
a good one.
Congratulations.
goal.
That's a good one. Rita,
Yes.
we are coming to a close.
Yes, we are, and we have been talking about dialysis when it comes to the chronic kidney disease, and we'll be going to Chirudu Hospital where David is actually in hand, and later on we'll be doing that, so you'll be able to see what exactly this whole dialysis treatment is and what it is like for the patient. But for now, thank you so much, Edith, for joining us this morning, and
Thank
we
you.
wish you a best and actually a good,
last
quick recovery.
Right. Yes, doctor.
One last thing.
Yes, so today is World Kidney Day. For 14 years we've been celebrating World Kidney Day. And we've spoken to government and has granted us to be at Parliament on the 28th of this month. We want to screen the whole of Kampala.
Yes.
Parliament is open. The Speaker has granted this. Please come on the 28th, right here at Parliament, and be screened for kidney disease. We shall look at your blood, look at your urine, and give you a report. And if you need help, we shall be happy to carry you on.
The
from
best
there.
part is that it's free of charge.
Yes, free of charge. Just walk in. Parliament is waiting for you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Ogavu and Edith Mukisa. We continue to wish you well, and we wish you well. In case you're a kidney patient, it is well. You have all the tips now, and you and I who, think we are okay, we need to get tested. You never know. Very important. And so that's it for this particular segment. Don't go too far, because we'll be going to reality on the ground as you try to link up with David Rukasi, who is in Chirudu Hospital.